Hey YouTubers, Pilaf here, and today I'm here with the Season 3 review. Obviously, last episode we got promoted to the Championship, winning the League 1 title. So to just quickly remind you of that, I'll give you a look at the final table, the top 8 here. Us and Peterborough went up automatically. And then Charlton Athletic beat Rotherham 1-0 in the playoff final, so Charlton will also be joining us in the Championship next season. And also joining us will be West Brom, Watford and Sheffield United, as they were all relegated from the Premier League. And we won't be playing against Fulham and Stoke, as they were both promoted. And also we won't be playing one of Brentford, Forest, Bristol City and Birmingham, as one of them will have gone up through the playoffs. As well as that, we won't be playing QPR, Portsmouth or Luton because they were all relegated from the Championship. And looking at the teams winning the Championship next season, I will get to play Ipswich and Norwich, which makes me happy as a Norwich fan, because I want to play Ipswich so I can beat them, and I want to play Norwich because I just want to play at Carrow Road at least once in this career mode at some point. And now we've looked at who will be playing next season, let's look at who played for us this season and how they did. Making the most appearances is Barbarous. He's played every single game, league, cup and the pre-season tournament, because I didn't really have a good backup keeper. But I've got one in the youth academy which I may promote next season, who is good enough to play in the cup games probably. Then Barcola, Freese and McKinnon all playing the same amount of games. Court, Pavlov and Kostas Cordao all playing the same amount of games. Then rounding out the first team players, we had Dawoodi, Aroy Mazora, Vaquero and Hargest. So our main starting 11 occupying the 11 most appearances on this list. So that makes sense really. Even though Hargest was injured for about 3 months and Vaquero was interchanged with Nelson and Hoffman towards the end of the season a bit, Njatic comes at the top of the backup players, which isn't a surprise because he stepped in for Hargest when he was injured. Then we have other players like Rude, Nelson, Quaresma, Broyne, Hoffman, all playing a fair few games from the second team and from the bench, we should expect. Even though Rude didn't play for pretty much the whole of the second half of the season because I had Nelson and Hoffman. Then Schultz, Conway and Teehee all making low double figure appearances. Then Ulanair Buta, Roberts, Guerrero, Hasegawa and Daly making appearances for us in competitive competitions. Bosniak did play once in the pre-season tournament, and Mascara has played a couple of games out on loan for Oldham, but he's not played them for us. You see McKinnon here with the most goals for us, playing 55 competitive fixtures and scoring 57 goals, which is an absolutely ridiculous record. I think the competition record for League 1 was 55 goals, so he was only 4 off beating that. And if I played him more towards the end of the season instead of using my second team, he probably would have scored that 4. Freese is second with 22 competitive goals, and then Hargest is third with 20 competitive goals. And Hargest probably would have scored more from Freese if he hadn't played 15 games less. Then Vaquero got 16 goals, which is quite good considering his finishing stat is like 40 something. Then Barcola getting 7 goals from defensive midfield, which is a good turnout for him. Nelson getting 6 goals coming in late in the season, which is good. Schultz getting 4 and 11, which isn't too bad considering he's got a fairly low rating. Njatic getting 4 goals, which I'm actually disappointed with. I expected him to do a lot better. He has disappointed me a bit this season. Hoffman only getting 3 goals, so I'd expect a bit more from him next season, but he did come in late, so I'll sort of let him off for that. Then Kostas Cordao getting 2. One was an absolute screamer and one was from about a yard, but he did well from defensive midfield there this season. Then Rude, Pavlov, Aroy Mazora, Guerrero and Roberts all getting 1 each. Then McKinnon is top of the assists, just like he was top of the goals, which shows how incredible he has been this season and how integral he is to this team. Vaquero is second here on the assists, then Hargest third, Freese fourth. So what I'd expect, the front 4 having the most assists, then the cam having more assists than the wingers. It's what you'd expect really. Then my 2 CDMs having 10 assists each, which I'm kind of surprised they got so many, but they were really good, linking the attack to defence. So I'm really happy with both of these this season. Then Aroy Mazora got 8, probably mostly from crosses because he's got like 86 crossing I think, and he can get some good balls into the box for McKinnon to head in usually. Then Nelson and Hoffman getting 8 assists each from a few games, so that's a good turnout from them considering they didn't play many. Njatic did a bit better on assists than he did on goals, but still a low turnout considering how many games he played, so I'm disappointed with Njatic overall this season. Teehee getting 4 assists in 10 games though, which is pretty good for him. Then Dawoodi only getting 2 assists, bit disappointed with that, so hopefully he can step up a little bit next season. Then Schultz getting 2 assists from not many games, which isn't too bad for a striker. Then Pavlov and Quaresma getting 1 assist each. And we see clean sheets here, and Barbarous got 13 clean sheets in competitive competitions. So across 58 games, not too bad overall. Then we see here the highest average ratings for players in the league. I can only show it in the league, but it shows how good McKinnon really was this season, getting 84 across the season, which is absolutely phenomenal. Then Hargest and Barcola both getting 77s, which is pretty good. Then Freese, Kostas Cordao, Vaquero all getting 75s. So those have all been really good this season. And they're all attacking players, more or less, so it's easier for them to get higher ratings. Then the low 70s, we've also got Nelson and Hoffman, so didn't play many games, so that's probably why theirs a bit lower. Then the high 60s, we got Court, Pavlov, Njatic, Aroy Mazora and Dawoodi. then Barbarous only getting a 62 overall, which is quite low, but I think that's because he's conceded a lot of goals because of my sliders. Over the course of the season, I think the results in terms of win, loss and draws end up pretty much as they should do, but just with more goals scored and conceded to make it a bit more entertaining for when you're watching. And now I've looked at the average ratings for the players across the season, it is time to give you my top 5 players of the season. And coming in at 5th place is Pavlov. He's not got a crazy stat board, only 1 goal and 1 assist and a 6.9 average rating over all competitions. But the amount of last-ditch tackles he makes to stop goals, making interceptions and stuff, he is really crucial to the team and he's really stepped up this season and he's been better than Court in my opinion. So Pavlov has had a really good season, he's been really important for me at the back, so he comes in at 5th place for me. Then coming in at 4th place is Kostas Cordau, who has a better stat board, 10 assists and 2 goals from the very defensive defence midfielder, and he's just my man who sits back, links the defence to the attack, and sort of just plays as an anchorman for the midfield. He'll break up the play and he'll just lay off balls to players who are more creative, like the wingers like my cam, striker, or maybe even Barcola. But he is a very solid player and he's had a very good season, so he comes in 4th. And then coming in at 3rd is Barcola, and he has had a really good season as well. 7 goals and 10 assists from defensive midfield. Now he's my defensive midfielder who does move forward more, who goes more into the attack and is part of the attack in most build-ups. But still, he's had a really good season with those stats from defensive midfield. And he had a really disappointing season last season, so I'm really glad he's picked himself up and had a better one this season. And good enough to come in 3rd in my Player of the Season rankings. And coming in at 2nd is Curtis Hargest, and this guy is just a phenomenal player. I absolutely love Hargest. He can go wide, he can cut inside, he always finishes from his speciality position, and he's a really good dribbler, really quick. I just really like Hargest. He's like the perfect winger for me. And if he hadn't got injured, I'm sure he would have had a better season than Fries in terms of his stats. And he got more assists anyway, and he was only 3 goals off, equaling Fries' tally in 15 less games. So he comes in 2nd in my Player of the Season. And it is no surprise that coming in 1st in my Player of the Season is Lewis McKinnon. He has had a ridiculous season. He might be the best striker I've ever used in a career mode. Obviously not the highest rating yet, but in terms of scoring this many goals at this level, I think he might be the best striker I've ever had. And getting the most assists and the most goals in a team from striker, that is ridiculous. And if you combine his goals and assists, he has over 1.5 goal involvements a game in competitive competitions. So this man has had an absolutely ridiculous season. He's just so good. And he's going to rip it up in the Championship next season. So Lewis McKinnon comes in 1st in my Player of the Season rankings. And now we do have our top 3 goals of the season here. And we're starting off with a nice little bicycle kick from Sergio Vaquero. Plenty of space for Fries. Going to clip it back here. Vaquero with the bicycle kick. What a finish from Sergio Vaquero. And that has made it 2-0 to Barrow. Not really a proper bicycle kick, more of a scissor kick really, but nonetheless, a fantastic finish from Vaquero. And that is 2-0. And now 2nd in my goal of the season rankings is a nice goal from Lewis McKinnon after running from about the halfway line and hitting a shot from the edge of the box. Take it all the way with McKinnon. Go inside this defender, hit a shot from the edge of the box. Oh, what a way for McKinnon to seal his hat-trick. What a strike from Lewis McKinnon. That is the pick of the bunch. His other 2 goals were decent, but that from edge of the box after running probably like 20 yards with the ball, that is a fantastic goal from Lewis McKinnon into the top corner to seal his hat-trick. And that is 3-0. And now, coming in as my goal of the season, is a nice curled shot from Kostas Cordau from about 25 yards. Go to Kostas Cordau here, and I'm going to hit a shot. Oh, what a goal from Kostas Cordau! I think that's his first goal for the club. And I just felt like lining one up there, trying to bend it into the top corner. And what a goal from Kostas Cordau to make it 7-1. Already got 6 goals today, and that is the pick of the bunch. That is a fantastic goal from Kostas Cordau. What a way to get your first goal for the club. And that is the end of my Season 3 review and awards. And I hope you enjoyed the season. And I hope you can't wait for the next one, because I can't wait for the next one. Playing Championship football in Season 4. And my next video will be the start of Season 4. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to carry on watching this series, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.